that gorgeous girl. She turned 80 years old today. Hello and welcome to another episode of Miss M Monday. I'm your host, Jennica, a divine Miss imposter with over 15 years experience as a Bette Midler Tribute Artist. So I feel more than qualified to give you a proper Betteducation. Before we get started, a very special and happy 80th birthday to the one and only People's Diva, Bette Midler. You had an interview with Judy Gold where you said, if my obituary in the New York Times reads, got her start in the bathhouse, I shall rise from the dead and set fire to their 35th floor. And I decided that's my cue. And so it is my responsibility, nay, my privilege, to give a proper Betteducation to the older and younger generations so that they may know that it did not indeed begin in a bathhouse. It began long before that. In this series, I focus on Bette's pre-Hollywood career, so that's everything that happened before her first feature film in 1979, The Rose. For this week's Miss M Monday, we're talking about two of Bette's many firsts. I have mentioned before, in the godless times before the internet was the useful resource it is now, I spent $200 on a VHS tape of one of Bette's concerts in order to continue my research of her pre-Hollywood career. Well, the album that accompanied that visual splendor is Live at Last, my favorite Bette Midler album. Live at Last is the first live concert album by Bette Midler and was released in 1977 as a 2-disc set. It's Midler's fourth album, and it was from her live recorded performance, The Depression Tour in Cleveland, entitled The Bette Midler Show. It includes her backup group, the Staggering Harlots, and her band, Betsy and the Blowboys. The concert covers material from her first 3 albums, as well as the Supremes' Up the Ladder to the Roof, Ringo Starr's Oh My My, the Mock Lounge Act, The Vicky Eady Show, a personal favorite of mine, and The Story of Nanette, a character rarely done by Bette. Listening to this album or watching this concert, you will always get a taste of how Bette handles, or at least did handle, obnoxious audience members. You may dish it out at Bette, but I'm telling you, she is always locked and loaded and ready to dish it right back to you. And of course, a staple of her live performances, those good old Sophie Tucker jokes. The Depression Tour was then titled The Bette Midler Show, and that became the very first ever HBO television music special. It was written by Jerry Blatt, Bette Midler, and Bruce Valanche. The original HBO broadcast ran for 134 minutes, including material from both of her Cleveland performances. When it was released on VHS, Betamax, and CED video disc in 1984 by Embassy Home Video, it was severely shortened to 84 minutes. Performances of Birds, Shiver Me Timbers, the entire story of Nanette, and a Harlots-only musical number, along with countless jokes, were completely removed. So why is this live album and the HBO special part of Bette Midler's first and such an integral part of your Betteducation? Because prior to the release of the album of this concert on HBO, most people had never seen or heard Bette Midler live in concert. You could get an idea of how brassy she is through her previous 3 albums. Caught her on Johnny Carson or one of her other many TV appearances. You had an idea of how ostentatious she could be on stage. But the Live at Last album was the first time that anyone and everyone could understand what the divine Miss M experience truly entailed. As long as you could get your hands on this double vinyl, you got to experience the divine Miss M. If you are of a certain age like moi, you will remember the many HBO concert events and what a huge deal it was anytime one of them happened. Well, the very first ever HBO concert was the fabulous Bette Midler. Thank you for joining me, and be sure to tune in next time where we'll talk about one of my especially favorite little tidbits about Bette Midler's pre-Hollywood career, a time when she played a queen in a live production. Any ideas on what that is? This completes your Betteducation for today. I mean, can't be beat.